Good morning to all of you, and it's indeed my pleasure to be part of this very interesting program in which the IKS division is making efforts to bring Indian knowledge system into the main curricular teaching. In fact, the National Education Policy, NEP 2020, I'm sure many of you being academics would have seen it, has emphasized on two things. One is what I call it as rootedness in India, and the second is Indian knowledge systems. Therefore, I think any efforts to bring Indian knowledge system into the main curricular teaching is most welcome, because that's what would be very useful for us now. But more than that, I think I want to spend a couple of minutes to say, why do you need IKS? Indian knowledge system is not merely knowing about ancestral knowledge. Of course, it is received wisdom. It's a matter of national pride. All those are there. But I want to emphasize on one point, that Indian knowledge system is a matter of serious economic security of the country. So let me quickly take two examples. A company, an US company, was awarded a patent for neem as a pesticide. So as we know, for time immemorial, we have been using neem as pesticide, but despite our best efforts, we could not, stop the US PTO, the Patent and Technology, the trademark officers, from issuing the patent for neem as a pesticide. On the other hand, another US, two Indian professors who were in the US were actually applied. They applied for again a patent for powdered turmeric for used for healing the wounds. As we all know, it is a time immemorial practice again here. But this time, Dr. Mashelkar, who was the Director General of CSIR, put about 100 more plus scientists. They worked for a lot of time, prepared a lot of document, and then finally showed that we knew it earlier than what was being claimed. So the next 100 years is knowledge society. And it's all going to be who has the patent, who has the know-how. We have all the know-how in Indian knowledge systems, but we do not know. So unless we learn and teach Indian knowledge system, we will lose out heavily on this knowledge that our ancestors have created for thousands of years. Second reason is there is something called path dependence. The path that anybody can walk, any society can walk, any nation can walk, is a function of the path that it has already walked. Therefore, we must know our past. How can we say we don't have to know anything about our past? All that we need to know is what Britishers told us in the last 150, 200 years. I think that's not a good idea. The third reason why we need IKS is that we have made huge contributions. The contributions are not very marginal, whether it comes to metalworking, whether it comes to steel, whether it comes to extraction of zinc, whether it comes to watershed management, whether it comes to health, public administration, mathematics and astronomy. I mean, the list is endless. So all the more reason we must actually know Indian knowledge systems. Therefore, I am very happy that the ministry, the UGC, the AICT are taking serious steps to bring in IKS into the main curriculum. So now comes the challenge. Now, although we may be ready, I think Indians are genuinely interested in teaching, learning, etc., etc. The real challenge is, what do we do? How do we go about? And I want to say a few things, thoughts of mine about this, because I want you to understand it. First of all, we seem to be suffering from some wrong ideas about Indian knowledge system. We think it is religious, it is dogmatic, it is blind belief, it is unscientific, etc., etc., which is totally wrong. I mean, we are all well educated, but we may still think like that because that is what we have been taught. So as teachers, we cannot go with that kind of feeling. Therefore, we must know, we must check for ourselves whether these are true or not. Let me tell you, my own personal experience is all these are wrong. Indian knowledge system is not just Veda and the mantras that even the mantras have a lot of scientific ideas, but it is not that. There is so much on astronomy, there is so much on metallurgy, so much on health, etc., etc. So therefore, this is the first challenge we have to, as teachers, come out of it. We must know for ourselves that Indian knowledge system is hugely scientific and it has a lot of contributions. It is very rigorous, etc. The second challenge that we face is we do not seem to have the right material with us. Even if you want to teach, as we all know, if you have to teach a course, you need access to the material. We don't have easy access to the material because this nice Indian knowledge system and the contributions are largely available in Sanskrit. And the commentaries on that is also of a very scholarly sort of a commentary. Therefore, unless we have some prior exposure and training, we may find it very difficult. So we may genuinely have an issue. Even if you want to teach, we are convinced that we need to bring Indian knowledge system to the future generations. As teachers, we may not know how to go about because the material we think is not easily available. We don't have structured course outline. See, finally, you need to have a 3-credit course, 4-credit course. That means you need to have modules, you need to have chapters, you need to have material, reading material, maybe, etc., textbooks. So these were some of the challenges, and these were real challenges which we were confronting when we really wanted to actually go forward and teach IKS. But let me tell you, the other major challenge is so far the incentive for doing all these was missing. The government was not advocating Indian knowledge systems until recently. Therefore, there is no incentive. Whereas now, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and the current thinking of the government is that we must bring rootedness in India. Therefore, there is huge incentive by way of requiring that we make course outlines, we teach for all courses, etc. All these are there. But more importantly, let me tell you, the youngsters, the future generations want to know IKS. So as teachers, how can we run away? They ask, we need to deliver and it is our responsibility to deliver. So all these are showing that the trajectory is changing, the landscape is changing. But fortunately, the landscape is also changing for good reasons. I am happy to tell you, I have co-authored a book, the first book of its kind in English, called Indian Knowledge Systems, Concepts and Applications. I am sure you will know about it. Maybe you will access a copy of it. Prentice Hall India PHA Learning has published it. It's available with PHA and it's also available with Amazon. One can buy it. So textbook is available, in which we have a very structured way in which we have covered the entire ideas that we wanted to bring. The textbook has 14 chapters. It talks about what, why, and how of IKS, about 450 pages. And broadly, it is into 4 parts. The first part introduces Veda and a few things which are very important. It's a small part. Then it gets into foundational concepts in Indian knowledge systems for science, engineering, technology. Then there is a third part which has some good concepts on science, engineering, and technology and applications. We have 4 or 5 chapters on that. And then we have a section on humanities and social sciences in Indian knowledge systems, where we talk about health and psychology, we talk about public administration and so on. Not only that, we have all these chapters, we have created PowerPoint slides, PPTs, okay? Because all these will only make it easy to teach. So the entire chapter is available in PPTs. The chapter has very interesting videos and discussion questions and exercises for the students. We have created course outlines for 3 streams. One stream for sciences, another stream for engineering and technology, and the third stream for arts. So we have created course outlines with modules and indicating chapters and topics to be discussed and so on. And lastly, we have also created 3 versions of MOOCs. in Swayam. You just get into swayam.gov.in and get into that website and simply type IKS. You will find that all the three versions are available. They have already started. They are starting, not already started. They are starting on 31st. That is the Monday, the day you are starting. The MOOCs is open. Please enroll in the MOOCs. You will enjoy going through it. Please take a look at the textbook. If you want the PPTs and the course outlines, feel free to get in touch with me. I will be happy to actually share that with you. I think we all must get together and regain the pride of this country by teaching ourselves and our future generations the great treasure of knowledge which our ancestors have left in the last 5,000 years. I wish this program a great success. I am sure you will go back with a lot of ideas as to how to bring IKS into the mainstream, and I'll be happy to see that happening. Wish you good luck. Thank you for this opportunity.